from everywhere USA. It's Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla.
Oh, you better believe it is. And we are fired up in this hour to bring you an embarrassment of radio riches. Lot to get to, including breaking news that the University of Pennsylvania has just asked its president to step down after she failed to condemn anti-Semitism on the Hill.
Get her out. Get her out of here.
Sounds like they're getting her out of here. Plug in the Prius, charge it up, peel off your hate has no home sticker here, and hit the highway, hit the road. But batting leadoff before we get to that story, some gentleman who's been hitting the road quite a bit. He went to Congress. He went to my stand-up show in Naples. The only place he won't be going is the college football playoff because they jobbed his Seminoles. Superstar representative for the 19th Congressional District of Florida, Byron Donald's in the house. Hey, man.
You know what, Jimmy? I was happy to come on your show till you said that. Now I'm upset.
Yo, but justice for FSU. I'm with you. What a scam, man.
No, we got hosed. It was terrible. First of all, you know, the committee, or who I call the Russian judge, because that's who they are right now. This committee, there's no way that Texas should have jumped Florida State in the polls. There's just no way.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Texas lost the game. Mm-hmm. They lost to Oklahoma, Oklahoma team that's not that good. Yep. That Oklahoma team lost to Oklahoma State, who's not even as good as the Louisville team that we beat for the ACC championship. And we're undefeated, and they're saying, oh, we don't have our quarterback? Man, stop. Get out of here.
And you know what, by the way, the fact that they don't have the quarterback shouldn't mean anything because Ohio State famously lost its quarterback, made it into the college football playoff, and that's the only title they won under Urban Meyer was their backup, Cardale Jones, caught fire, and they won the national title. So that argument doesn't hold either. You're right. I think the fix was in, man.
Look, what happened was, and they will never say it, but I know. What happened was that when Alabama beat Georgia, they were like, oh, my gosh, we have to put Alabama in the playoff. But how are we going to put Alabama in when Texas, who was ranked ahead of Alabama, beat Alabama at Alabama?
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, well, Texas looked good. Let's just put them in 2, and then we'll drop Florida State to 5. But Texas jumped 4 spots on the last day of the season, and Texas was only ranked above Florida State for 2 weeks, and those are 2 weeks after they beat Alabama, and then they dropped behind us after they lost to Oklahoma. Yeah. Like, I don't understand this. This makes no sense at all.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. We're talking to Representative Byron Donalds about pressing issues facing the country. By the way, I will shout out your district. What a night. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, if you weren't representing that district in Congress, you'd never leave it anyway, right?
No, I wouldn't. You know, the funny thing is that when I travel the country, and there's great places in America, awesome places, love everybody, but Southwest Florida is just different. Beautiful place, awesome place, super relaxing, it's home.
Well, now it works. It works. I smoked a 64 Padron in your honor while I was down there. And, they brought me back to reality. I flew back at this is the one thing about going on the road to do stand-up. Amazing. You meet these crowds, you do these meet and greets, but you're back on a plane at 5 a.m. like it never happened. It's like a time warp. It's really weird. Like you're in and out of town. It's like you're a hitman or something. But, speaking of shady endeavors. So the president's kid gets indicted federally out in California. I've been yelled at because the rich need to pay their fair share. To start there, it doesn't sound like the rich are paying their fair share in the Biden house.
No, they're not. They've been hiding from the tax man for a long time. And what's worse is they've been hiding from the tax man with foreign dollars. That's what makes this thing so much worse. But take a step back. People say, oh, man, why are you talking about this money? Joe Biden, he wasn't doing these business deals. He wasn't doing the deals per se, but they were using his name. And he knew that it was going on. And, yeah, he was getting money on the back end. So Hunter and Jim were the ones out there doing these deals. And here's the real truth. They probably would have got away with it if the son wasn't a crackhead and just a dummy. If the son wasn't a crackhead, they might have got away with the whole thing. But, look, here's the reality, Jimmy. These charges that were filed yesterday would never have happened if House Oversight wasn't investigating the Biden family deals. Because the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland had this crap deal, this sweetheart deal where they were going to bury all these tax charges under a misdemeanor, and they were also going to bury a violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, which is a felony, by the way. They were going to bury that under some dumb gun charge against Hunter Biden. And the only reason that all of that got blown up was because House Republicans were investigating and telling the American people exactly what the truth was. We found whistleblowers who confirmed that. And then there was a federal judge who looked at the deal and was like, this deal is trash. I'm not signing this deal. And that's what brought us to where we are today.
It's incredible. We're talking to Representative Byron Donaldson, the 19th Congressional District of Congress. And it is the ultimate elections have consequences moment because, you know, the truth is the fact that they did try to bury this also on some small scale shows you the lengths they went to in 2020 to make this story go away. And I think that's the larger point I've been trying to make to people listening to the show is this isn't a Republican story. It's an American story. OK, they tried at the tippy top to interfere in the election by making a story that was damaging to a Democrat go away. And it took taking back the House in the midterms to change that, which is a reminder to people to get out there and vote. But my goodness, man, because you know this, when if a guy lies about everything. So Biden started out with, all right, I never talked to my son about his business. We know that's a lie. The laptop's not real. We know that's a lie. If they're lying about the first two or three things, there's no way they're not lying about the last thing, which is, did you make money off of this? Would you agree with that?
Not only do I agree with it, Jimmy, we got the checks. There was $5 million from a company called CEFC. CEFC is a Chinese front company.
Yep.
Okay, the CEFC wired $5 million into a company that is controlled by Hunter and Jim Biden. Okay, on that day when the wire was transferred, there was about $600,000 that was moved from that account to the personal account of Jim Biden, the president's brother.
Yep.
On the same day, the president's brother wrote a check for $200,000 to Joe Biden and called it loan repayment. we got the money flow. Yeah. We see where it goes from the Chinese to the brother and the son and to Joe Biden himself. He's been lying the entire time, and now the truth has finally come out. And real quick, let's go back, because you mentioned a good thing about how they interfered in the election with the phony story about how the laptop was Russian disinformation. The person who led the charge on that lie was Anthony Blinken, who's the current Secretary of State. So Tony Blinken's the guy that organized these 51 intelligence community officials saying that the laptop was Russian disinformation. The press runs with that like, oh, well, 51 officers said it's Russian disinformation. This is true. The social media companies were taking down the New York Post story in the middle of an election, saying we're not letting this story get out. This is Russian disinformation. And all of it was a lie to protect Joe Biden, to stop Donald Trump. All of it was a lie.
That is fascinating. We're talking to Byron Donalds, and that's a scam. I mean, that's the referee swallowing the whistle on a game-changing pass interference call. But what's crazier is they helped...
You mean like what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen, the Kansas City Chiefs are having plenty of fun. They got Taylor Swift and all her fans parading around the locker room. I have no sympathy for the Chiefs. You do remember we live in New York right now, where the Jets and Giants are like a combined 7-20 right now.
Yeah. But man, come on, man. That was pass interference.
No, it was.
The Chiefs should have won that game.
No question. But the Chiefs can't catch a pass anyway. Game this year. I can't really judge, you know.
Well, Jimmy, you also know what that's like. Now, this is going to go back in time for some people, but I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I've been in suffering for since 1995. Okay, there was a play where Dez Bryant. We were in Green Bay. It was a catch, Jimmy. It was a catch. It's still a catch today. Shout out to Dez Bryant and Tony Romo. It was a catch.
They're like, well, he didn't complete his celebration dance. I'm like, what kind of football moves do they need him to make? No, you're 1,000% a catch. By the way, so you know this, I'm on tour in Texas this weekend. I'm going to the Cowboys-Eagles game Sunday night. How about that?
Ooh, Jimmy, that's going to be a good game. Yeah. That's going to be a good game. It's a big game for Dak Prescott. He's got to show up.
Yeah, he does. This is a money game. Then the last piece of advice I'll ask you, because you know things. Okay. Lincoln Failla is a little bit of a troll. He's actually a Steeler fan, because when you're a young kid, if you have older brothers, they kind of they kind of curate your pop culture sensibility. Lincoln doesn't have older brothers, but he has older cousins, and they were Steelers fans. So he became a Steeler fan through no fault of mine. But getting past that, as a little bit of a troll, he wants to wear a Jalen Hurts jersey to AT&T Stadium. Will AT&T Stadium dump a beer on the Link, man? Because in Philly, if you wore the visiting team's jersey, they'd beat you up. I know that. But would Dallas give him a pass, or is the Link man coming home with a shiner that's not from me for once?
Well, I mean, look, Dallas will give him a pass because this is not Philadelphia. If he was in Philadelphia wearing a Dak Prescott jersey, I don't know what would happen to him. But, I might have to call some people down at AT&T Stadium because this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this. We can't allow this.
Wielding your congressional influence.
Not in the $1 billion playpen, baby. This can't go on.
All right, we'll talk about it because I don't want to get kicked out of Jerry's world. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fun down there. Then Jerry won't take me to the adult establishments. I can't have that.
Well, you can't put that on Jerry Jones. You don't know that happened. Stop that. Jerry Jones is an upstanding member of society.
Yeah, all right.
You need to leave. You need to stop.
Byron Donald's just fake news to the host on his own show. I love it. Keep playing good ball, man. Ho, ho, ho to the Donalds family if I don't see you before then. All right, man?
All right, brother. Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Merry Christmas, America.
Damn right. Ho, ho, ho. Byron Donalds, the great Byron Donalds from the 19th Congressional District of Florida. It is the nicest place. But Naples, Florida. Oh, take a bow, girlfriend. Oh, my goodness gracious. In performing in Naples, we got to do 4 sold-out shows. They were just so rowdy, so wonderful. But every day I was down there, it also wasn't any humidity, which is a rarity. Florida gets humid. But by we, I mean me and the voices in my head. I went and smoked a 64 Padron, and I've got 3 of them coming to me, courtesy of one of our listeners named Clay, who, some of you met Clay or you see him on Twitter, brought me 3 stogies to the Carson Nugget last weekend. And they're my favorite cigars anywhere in the world. They are phenomenal. And one of our Fox Across America listeners gave them to me. And I had to have them mailed back to me from Nevada to New York. And if they, in fact, showed up to my house today, I will be smoking one in East Texas tomorrow. But either way you slice it, East Texas, we are coming to your world. What we're not doing, as Byron Donalds was saying, is buying anything they are telling us in the Biden administration about this Hunter deal.
It's nothing more than white noise.
This is Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla.